topics. Originally, I wanted to name the video controversial topics, but then someone asked a question about politics, so I decided not to do that. Yeah, so today's gonna be about debatable topics. The first question I got was, how do you eat your cereal? Milk first or cereal first? I personally do cereal first because if you put the milk in first and you put the cereal in, you're gonna splash the milk. And then also, I like to have more cereal than milk. And if I put cereal in first, then I can actually see how much cereal I'm putting in. Whereas if I put the milk in first, the cereal will float on top, so you can't actually tell. And so I don't really like that. And you can always add more milk, but you can't always add more cereal unless you want to throw it in the compost. So personally, I like to do cereal first. But I'm not really this big cereal person either. Like I prefer oatmeal than like Cheerios and um, Wheaties and the other kinds of cereal. So yeah, that's my opinion on that. Next question, which is slightly related, is cereal a soup? Um, I don't think so because you could argue otherwise since cereal is like a whole food, but like it's a food with liquid. Like if you have like a bean soup, you have beans and you have the water. And it's not because they're hot. It's not because cereal is not hot. Like you wouldn't think oatmeal is a soup. I don't think. Because in oatmeal you use like the oats and you put water in or milk. But I don't know. Would you consider that to be a soup? I don't think so. But like, I don't know. I personally would not think cereal is a soup, though you could very well argue otherwise that cereal is a soup because you have a liquid and a solid. Yeah, because like chili is a soup, unless you consider it to be more of a stew. But I think stew and soup are similar things. So I don't know. I personally don't think so necessarily. Next one is a hot dog a sandwich? This one you could argue both ways because, for example, Subway, you have kind of like a hot dog, you have the bread, and they put the meat or the vegetables, whatever you want, inside the Subway sandwich, in between the slice of bread, which is actually kind of one slice when you think about it. Just like hot dog buns are kind of like one piece of bread, but you fold it, and you put the hot dog in the middle. So I think I don't consider it to be a sandwich only because of how I hold my hot dog. I hold it with like the open part upwards and not sideways. I don't want to make all these hand movements. But no, I don't think hot dog is a sandwich, but that doesn't mean it isn't. Like we don't just because we don't call it a sandwich does not mean it isn't. So you can call it either way. Next one is morning or night showers. Now, I personally prefer morning showers. I used to have really long hair, and my hair is also very thick. So I can't hair dry it or blow dry it. Sorry, I cannot blow dry my hair because it just won't. They won't dry. When I had long hair, I would shower at like 6 a.m. and my hair would not be dry until like noon because of how thick it is. Um, and when I like go to bed, I don't like my hair to be wet, and that just it doesn't work for me. So I prefer showering in the morning because then I can brush my hair easier, getting out of it all its knots and tangles from the night. And also, it helps me kind of wake up because then when I leave the bathroom where it was warm, it's kind of cold outside the bathroom. And then when I go outside, so I don't really feel like going back to bed. And so I prefer morning because it helps me wake up and it's warm, like my hair mostly. Yeah, unless for some reason I'm going somewhere with my family, like going on a trip, and then we have to leave home at like 5 a.m. or something to go to the airport. Unless it's something like that where I know I have to be up like before 5 a.m. the next day, usually I will shower in the morning. But if I'm up that crazy like early in the morning, then I will shower at night if I have to. Next one is, does pineapple go on pizza? Yes, I think so. I like warm pineapple because I also know pineapple ham. The pineapple is with the ham when you cook it, so it's nice and warm. I think the like when you warm pineapple, it actually makes it sweeter in a way and less acidic. And that's kind of why I like it. Do you make hot cocoa with water or milk? I make with milk because of water, it kind of just like takes the flavor out. Um, I don't know. I feel like chocolate with milk has a bit more flavor because water doesn't really have a flavor, but milk can. Also, depending on what kind of milk you have. I like to use almond milk. Rarely do I like coconut milk. But coconut milk with like hot chocolate using coconut milk and peppermint is really good. So yeah, I prefer milk with that. And there's a few more. Are curdled coffee and concrete donuts good? I wouldn't know because I've never tried. Also, I'm not really a huge coffee fan. I've had coffee, I think, once or twice, and I did not like it. I put so much creamer in. You'd probably have thought that like 90% of the coffee was actually creamer or milk, at least. And I can't imagine concrete donuts would taste very good purely because of the word concrete. Yeah. The last one is procrastination. I do not like procrastination. It stresses me out. Um, I know a number of people who procrastinate, and I keep telling them, I'm like, once you get to college, you're gonna be like dying over the amount of homework you have, and you're not gonna want to procrastinate because like things happen, and then if you wait till the last minute and then something happens, how the heck are you gonna finish things? Like I've had my teachers tell me that, they've had to write a whole paper, actually, not paper, they've had to write a whole like essay that had to be a number of pages that they had to print and put on their teacher's desk in paper form. And then, like, you hear those things like the printer being jammed, taking forever to load to be sent to the printer. Then you have to get it, and then you have to like staple it, or like then you're out of staples, or you have so much paper you realize that the staple isn't gonna work to go through all those pieces of paper, and then you're stressed out. So I don't like procrastinating. Um, I know some people do procrastinate, and that the stress helps them get things done, but I can't do that. That actually makes me want to not do the work. Whereas if I get the work and I do it right away, then I'm like, I got something done. I feel accomplished. I want stressed about it, and I finished it. I don't have to work. I don't have to worry about it anymore. Um, but I know that that is a driving factor of why my friends get their homework done. Is because they stress themselves out, or they feel like they can wait till last minute, and because like all that stress, it's the propelling force of them being like, oh crap, now it's actually due like in a few hours. I actually maybe should actually get this done so I don't get an F or zero on this assignment. So that's how my friends work. I don't work like that. Um, so that's my opinion on that. I don't think procrastination is a good thing overall. I think in general, people shouldn't do that. I think there are times you can where it's okay, but there are also definitely things like you should not, because what you practice now is will be hard to get out of later. Like I feel like me being so on top of my homework and school stuff right now will really help me for later, because then when I get to college, all the work I'm gonna get, I'm gonna know how to manage my time, know how to manage my life, and be like, okay, this is just like, any other assignment. I just have to stick with it and get it done. But then for my friends who choose to wait once they get to college, because I know some of them plan on going to college, it's gonna be a big change for them, I think, because they're not gonna be used to having to, sit through, you know, long sermons or class periods and like then come out with you have to read 2 chapters of this huge book, and then you have like a week to do it, and you also have to write like a page about this, and then be ready to discuss next time. I'm not sure if that's how college life is, but because I'm kind of making that up. But they're gonna have to be like, oh crap, like I can't actually let this sit because then I'm gonna go multiple nights without sleeping and eventually it's gonna burn me out. So I'm not gonna lie, I don't generally like, having to be like put it in their face, but I feel this will be one of those things I can and will probably be like put a I told you so moment because I have just heard that it's not. And I have two older siblings who, one of them is in his senior year, one of them graduated 2 years ago from college. And the work that they've told me they've had to do is a lot. And so it's a lot of fun for them because of what they're doing, but it's also a lot of homework, like outside work time that they need. And so I'm just waiting for that time when it's for me and my friends to be able to tell them, be like, hey, like you can't do this anymore. Here's my cat trying to make an appearance. Here we go. This is the kitty cat whose whiskers you saw. Um, he's a big boy. Anyways, yeah, I kind of feel like I do not suggest procrastination. I feel like in the long run it'll make, your life harder and especially when it comes to when you have a job. Like my parents have a kind of job where people depend on them for certain materials. Um, and that means my parents depend on other people to get them the materials to then look at and then send to the others who need them. And they can't, procrastination is not good for that because, then, especially if you work in a team, you are, okay, kick cat. Because then you're not only holding yourself up, you're holding up the people who you work with. Um, and then if it's like in the setting of school, if you're the one person who doesn't do like the activity or like the project and you wait to the last moment to start working on it, you're gonna be the one with the bad grade. You're gonna be the one who's, gonna get less points for being an active participation because you waited. So yeah, I would not suggest procrastination because that's just, you know, doesn't always is not always gonna work. Even though you might be lucky enough to have it work for you now, but later it's gonna be a big shock once you find out that it's not actually gonna work. Anyways, that's all for this video. Sorry that I'm messing with my hair because the part is weird now. It keeps getting in my face. All right, let me know in the comments down below which one you think is the most controversial, your opinion on, these topics, and I'll see you next time. Bye.